I want to show you a different way to think about Obsidian. Not as a personal note-taking app, not as a daily journal, not as a place to collect random thoughts. In this experiment, Obsidian became an engineering memory vault for a real software project. The project is Run The Strait, a Unity codebase with gameplay orchestration, UI threats, mobile input, iOS automation, release tooling, scene wiring, prefabs, tests, and runtime QA probes. That kind of project has a problem every serious codebase eventually develops. The important knowledge is no longer inside one file. It is in the relationships. Which system touches Game Director? Which tests cover ThreatDirector? Which UI code reacts to threat pressure? Which runtime probe connects to the iOS Maestro automation lane? Which Unity scene or prefab silently wires a script into gameplay? This is where normal AI workflows start to struggle. A chat window can read files. A model can summarize code. A search command can find exact text. But memory is not the same thing as context. Context is what you paste today. Memory is what the system can preserve, navigate, and reuse tomorrow. So I used Graphify to extract the structure of the code base and then exported that structure into Obsidian. The export is straightforward. Graphify has an Obsidian export command that takes the generated graph and turns it into a local vault with notes, links, graph groups, and a canvas view. Graphify creates the code graph. Obsidian makes that graph human. If you want the deeper breakdown of how Graphify helps with codebase understanding, impact analysis, and AI memory, I covered that in the previous video. This one is about what happens after that graph lands inside Obsidian. The result is this vault, about 3,900 linked nodes, built from a source graph with 3,753 nodes, 8,653 links, and 145 communities. That number is not the point by itself. The point is what the number becomes once it is usable. In Obsidian, every major code symbol becomes a note. Every relationship becomes a link. Every hub becomes inspectable. Every community becomes something the team can open, review, and discuss. This is the first thing I like about the setup. It gives the codebase a memory surface. I can open HUD Presenter and see that it is not just a UI class. It is a high-pressure hub. In the report, it shows up with 206 edges. That is a signal. If I touch this area casually, I am not just changing presentation code, I may be touching warnings, run state, scoring, threat indicators, mobile readability, and test expectations. Then I can open ThreatDirector. Again, this is not just a file, it is a system boundary. The Obsidian node shows its source file, its extracted relationships, and links into related nodes. From there, I can move into the canonical query receipt. What tests cover ThreatDirector? Now, the workflow changes. Instead of asking an AI assistant to guess what tests might matter, I can start with evidence. I can see threat behavior, HUD warning behavior, missile and aircraft spawning, play mode coverage, stress QA, and runtime telemetry as connected memory. That is a very different engineering posture. It is calmer. It is less local. It is less dependent on whatever I remembered to paste into a prompt. The second thing Obsidian adds is backlinks. Backlinks are simple, but in an engineering vault, they become powerful. If Game Director links to HUD Presenter, ThreatDirector, and Maestro QA probe, then the node is no longer just documentation. It is a navigation point. I can start from one subsystem and move outward by relationship, not by folder structure. That matters because folder structure is often organizational, but architecture is behavioral. A runtime QA system may live in one folder, a shell script in another, a Unity scene binding somewhere else, and a test fixture somewhere else again. Search can find strings across those files, but it does not naturally explain the shape of the connection. Obsidian helps me keep that shape visible. The most interesting example here is the Unity binding index. Unity projects hide a lot of architecture outside C#. Scenes, prefabs, assets, assembly definitions, and input actions can all define real system behavior without looking like normal source code. In this vault, Unity serialized binding index underscore run the strait becomes a note. And that note links to things like binding gameplay game director, binding gameplay HUD presenter, and the serialized script entry for ThreatDirector. That is important because now the architecture map does not pretend the project is only source files. It includes the Unity wiring that actually makes the runtime exist. The third useful surface is Canvas. Obsidian Canvas is where this stops feeling like a report and starts feeling like a review room. The Canvas file contains thousands of cards grouped by community. It is not something I would read line by line. That is not the point. The point is that it creates a visual review surface. You can zoom out and see clusters. You can zoom in and inspect areas. You can use it during a planning session, a refactor review, a QA triage discussion, or a migration conversation. For AI engineering, that matters because the problem with large systems is not only token cost, the problem is attention cost. If every prompt begins from 0, you waste tokens re-explaining the world. If every change begins with search, you only find the words you already knew to search for. And if every code review starts from a diff alone, you may miss the system around the diff. This vault gives the team a reusable starting point. This is also the kind of workflow we are exploring at Logan for enterprise AI systems, where teams need durable memory, lower token waste, clearer migration paths, and better impact analysis before changing complex software. Before touching gameplay orchestration, threats, input, UI, QA, build tooling, or Unity scene wiring, I can open the task brief template. The template asks for evidence, query used, important nodes, important paths, communities opened in Obsidian, source files selected, files deliberately avoided, blast radius, and tests chosen from the graph. That is the real value, not prettier notes, not a bigger graph, not an impressive screenshot, a better engineering habit. The AI assistant still writes code, but search, tests, and human judgment still matters. But now, those things are connected by a memory layer that the team can inspect. Graphify gives the system structure. Obsidian gives that structure a workspace. And together, they turn a code base from a pile of files into something closer to an engineering map, searchable, linked, visual, and reusable. For a small project, this might be unnecessary. For a real project with gameplay systems, QA automation, release scripts, platform constraints, and serialized engine wiring, this becomes practical. Because the best AI workflow is not just a bigger prompt. It is a better memory system around the work, and that is what this Obsidian Vault gave me, a way to begin changes with evidence, not instinct. That's where I'll wrap this one. If you want to follow the journey as I keep exploring practical engineering with AI, subscribe. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.